What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button because that's the most important thing you can do for me on this channel. What it does, that helps to make sure that those who are subscribed to the channel will indeed get the notifications, and it also helps to push this video through the YouTube algorithm as well. Secondly, if you're new to the channel, or maybe you've been ghost watching this channel for quite some time now, please do me a favor and yourself a favor by hitting the subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. And lastly, please make sure you share this video out on your social media platforms to your family and friends to inform them on this news and information. And yes, that does help to give me a slight boost in the YouTube algorithm as well. And with the introduction out of the way, let's get into today's news. And today we are headed to Aurora, Colorado. I'm a little late to head over to the city. A lot of you have already come to the city of Aurora, Colorado, very much so aware of what's going on over there concerning migrant gangs, Tren de Aragua, taking over at the moment 2 apartment complexes, right? At the moment, there are 2 apartment complexes that have been taken over. There's been a lot of controversy surrounding this situation, controversy that really doesn't make any sense because right now we have an abundance of video evidence that shows that this is the case. But we're going to get into the controversies and also the issues within the Aurora Police Department. And that's the main part of this video that I really want to focus on, is what's happening with the Aurora Police Department. Because the reality is this: recently in Pennsylvania, Donald Trump came out and he basically stated in a nutshell that he's going to clean up Aurora and Colorado at large. He's going to get Tren de Aragua out of there. I want to take a moment to listen to what Donald Trump had to say. And then as we move along with this video, we're going to see why, in all reality, Trump is really the only answer for Aurora. He's the only answer for Colorado as a whole. Federal intervention is going to be the only answer because the Aurora PD is completely upside down and they're not going to do anything concerning the situation anytime soon. But let's get into what Trump had to say concerning the migrant gang Tren de Aragua taking over these apartment complexes.
Colorado today, did you see that? Where Venezuelan gang members have taken over parts of the city. They've taken over apartment houses because these stupid people that we have leading our country are allowing these people, these criminals, to come into our country, and we're going to get them the hell out of here. And this is just the beginning. Wait till you see what happens. Wait till you see what they're doing.
Once again, this is looking like it's going to be the only answer for Aurora, because once we get into what's happening with Aurora PD, Trump is literally the only answer, especially when you have a governor running Colorado who states that what the mayor is saying concerning Aurora, what the city council members are saying concerning Aurora, and the migrant gang takeover is simply a figment of their imagination. Imagine that. A Colorado governor, imagine the governor of a state telling the public that the mayor of said city and the city council members of said city, being Aurora, Colorado, all this talk about Venezuelan gangs taking over apartment complexes is just simply a figment of their imagination. Imagine that. But now let's come over to this as well. I want to come to this article here. And this states, Aurora police investigate claim of Venezuelan gang takeover of apartment building. Let's see what they found. Let's see what Aurora PD found in their recent investigation concerning this gang. The article reads as such: Aurora has been in the national spotlight due to unconfirmed reports of Venezuelan gang taking over an apartment building after a video showing a group of armed men inside an apartment complex went viral. It's unconfirmed. Clearly, this is a DNC guy who wrote this article. The department shared a video Friday of officers engaging with residents engaging with residents of the edge at the Lori apartment complex located at 1218 Dallas Street. It's one of several buildings at the center of concerns regarding alleged activity by the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. However, interim Aurora Police Chief Heather Morris said in a police provided interview that officers found no evidence of a gang takeover. Listen to what she had to say here. Let's listen to this. She stated, "We've been talking to the residents here and learning from them to find out what exactly is going on. And there's definitely a different picture. Okay. I'm not saying that there's not gang members that don't live in this community. But what we're learning out here is that gang members have not taken over the complex, Morris said. If you know anything about violent gangs like this, concerning how they'll take over an apartment complex or just even take over a whole community or neighborhood for that matter, the people of said community, and in this case, apartment complex, are not going to, quote, snitch. They're not going to do that because they're in fear for their life. This is why in the city of Chicago, you have what's called spot shotter, right? You have spot shotter at the top of light poles and whatnot. And what that is that whenever a gunshot goes off around spot shotter, it immediately cuts on. It's a camera that cuts on immediately upon the gunshot to capture what's happening. Take photos and videos concerning everything around that area as it's happening in live time. The reason they need that is because typically in cases surrounding shootings in Chicago, nobody wants to come forward. Nobody wants to snitch because nobody wants any retaliation headed their way from said gang in the neighborhood that's wreaking havoc in the neighborhood. So it's clearly the same situation that we have here in Aurora with this apartment complex. Of course, nobody in the complex is going to say, hey, yeah, Tren and Aragua, they're here and their members are right over there. They're not going to do that. So this whole investigation is for naught, and it's not serious at all whatsoever. If you're just going to simply go on the word of the residents in the apartment complex, because the residents in the apartment complex are literally scared for their life. They're scared for their life, right? So now what we also have to examine as well, because I was taking a moment to say, okay, well, who is this woman? Who is the police chief, Heather Morris, right? And when you start to look into this more concerning the police chief, Heather Morris, what you find out is that Aurora PD cannot maintain a police chief. As you see in this article here, it states a revolving door at police chief office in Aurora concerns Colorado community leaders. What I want to do now is that I want to get into a video clip here concerning their troubles with keeping a police chief in Aurora. So let's get into this right now.
To the never-ending rough patch in Aurora leadership. Your reporters have been following that revolving door of Aurora police chiefs for years now. In the last decade, 6 people have been at the helm of Aurora Police and quit. The last time there was any extended period of stability was during Dan Oates' tenure. That was from 2005 to 14. Well, now 10 years later, the interim police chief Heather Morris says she will not seek this job permanently. Tori Mason is your reporter in Aurora, and Tori, Morris was the 4th person in just 2 years to lead this department, and her departure, no doubt, having a big impact not only on the force, but on the entire community.
Yes. And
let's stop before she carries on. She just said this is the 4th police chief in 2 years. The 4th, let's rewind that back just a little bit, just so we get a clear picture of this, right? And I'll make this bigger. In 2 years, they've gone through 4 police chiefs. That is completely absurd. To say that there is a lack of law and order in Aurora is an understatement, to say the very least, when in a 2-year period, you've gone through 4 police chiefs. That is crazy. But let's let this news clip carry on from CBS Colorado.
Tori Morris was the 4th person in just 2 years to lead this department, and her departure, no doubt, having a big impact not only on the force, but on the entire community.
Yes, and it was pretty unexpected, Karen. When I interviewed her at the beginning of the year when she was sworn in, she said that having that permanent role would be an honor. Now, there are a lot of people all over who don't know who their police chief is, but having a consistent one is paramount to public safety.
And I can't stop until something has been done.
Robert's son was unarmed when he was killed by Aurora police. The community still demands justice for Kylan Lewis.
Because of that, this meeting now becomes ours.
At the last council meeting, they spoke directly with interim chief Heather Morris.
It's just trying to explain to her what we missed in our lives and what's going on.
Days later, Morris announced she would not seek the permanent chief position.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't chuckle. I shouldn't laugh because it's not funny. And I don't mean to laugh, but there is a bit of almost satirical humor in this when she attends this city council meeting concerning police shootings, and a couple of days later afterwards she goes, yeah, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Police shootings, okay, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna head out. Thank you. You guys have a good one. I don't need this headache. I don't want this job anymore. I just find that really interesting, and there's almost just kind of like a dark kind of, humor to that, where as soon as that pops up as an issue, a couple days later she said, yeah, I'm good. I think I'm gonna take off. But let's let this play out.
Days later, Morris announced she would not seek the permanent chief position. Community leaders are tired of the revolving door.
We don't need no more interims.
Omar Montgomery is president of Aurora's NAACP.
So now we're going to have to go out and find someone who's willing to come to the city of Aurora, understand the complexity of our community,
and then find a way to make them stay.
They cannot keep a police chief to save their life. And the question that I pose to you all that are watching is, why is that? Why do you believe they cannot hold on to a police chief, and that they've gone through 4 police chiefs in a 2-year period? Now, recently, the city council just voted in a new police chief, and it appears that the citizens of Aurora aren't happy about this. It appears that they were left out of the process, and I want to get into that right now as well. So, and the significance in this of this video that I'm going to play is that this kind of tells me that the new police chief is most likely not going to be there long either, because the original police chief, the female, at one point in the very beginning, as the news anchor said at the top of the year, she was happy and ready to take the position on. About 8 months in, she wants out. So we'll see how long this new guy lasts, but let's get into here and all of the commotion surrounding what happened at city council when they voted the new police chief in.
Last hour, Aurora City Council voted, as expected, to confirm the next police chief, Todd Chamberlain.
9 News reporter Kelly Rinke was at that meeting. And Kelly, people in Aurora are not happy with the lack of transparency in this.
You see how she almost laughed too? It's so ridiculous what's going on over there that even this professional news anchor was trying to hold back the laughter of just the foolishness. So you see, it's not just me. Let's play that back just a little bit. Listen to her go.
Kelly, people in Aurora are not happy with the lack of transparency in this process.
Yeah, Alex and Marshall, the community criticized Aurora last time for selecting 3 white men as finalists for the police job in the state's most diverse city. But this time around, there was no community conversation, no community forum. And despite residents telling council members tonight that they didn't trust this process, only 2 council members voted no on Todd Chamberlain. Take a listen. People yelled things like "vote them out" and "shame on you" after a vote approved Chamberlain as police chief. He's the 6th person to take that role since 2019. Residents told council members their upset community was left out of this process. One council member who voted yes spoke to defend Chamberlain's appointment. It wasn't received very well.
You didn't have a problem getting qualified candidates in the pool because of their public the public knowing what they're doing. You had a problem because this is the Aurora Police Department. Nobody wants this job.
Everyone agrees we've had revolving door of interim police chiefs, and we need stability in this department. You guys want accountability. You want us to have better training. This is what he's about. And I respected you. I did not laugh when you were speaking. I would expect the same respect, please.
As community members chanted after that vote was made, council members stood up and they finished the rest of the meeting virtually in a different room.
Yeah, Aurora's finished. Aurora's pretty much done. Without any federal intervention. And that federal intervention is only going to come from Donald Trump. It's not going to come from a Harris-Walz administration. You can forget about that. Without that federal intervention, they're finished. But even after federal intervention, if the Aurora PD continues to remain upside down like this, if city council continues to remain upside down like this, their whole local governing body seemingly upside down, I mean, they're just going to run into the same issue again. They're going to run into the same issue again. And it's going to be this kind of never ending cycle of just, illegal immigrant gangs taking over properties in that city, to which the governor will always deny it. And if you're unable to get things together as far as a local governing body is concerned, there's only but so many times, you can expect the federal government to intervene. It's only but so many times that'll happen. So we'll see how this plays out moving forward. I'm going to monitor this situation, but they're finished, man. That's just the reality of it. That city for now is done. It's done. When you've gone through 4 police chiefs in 2 years, yeah, to say there's no law and order is an understatement. That's an understatement. There is no order happening in that city at all whatsoever. And with all that being said, that does it for today's video. So please hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share this video out on your social media platforms. And also don't forget to follow me on Telegram and Rumble. That is extremely important that you follow me on Telegram and Rumble. Both my Telegram and Rumble links are in the description box below and pinned in the comment section as well. Thank you all for your time. Until the next video, peace and have a great afternoon.